Alright, so this is a little bit of a different video, especially what I've been posting recently, but I just wanted to explain why I don't plan on using Twitch or Kick for streams. It's just because I don't like the personalities on there, how they do things, what they let get away on the streaming platforms, and how they just treat their people over there, and how strictly and at the same time loosely the rules can be applied to certain people depending on their standing with the staff. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Twitch is the main live stream platform of many people, and Kick is the alternative. Now, Twitch is owned by Amazon, and I believe Kick is also owned by a gambling company called Stake. Now, let me be clear. I'm not hating on anyone who's uses Twitch or Kick or streams on there. This is just my personal issues with those companies that just make me not want to be on there with my little name no one cares about, which thousands of people have for some reason. But I just don't want to be on their platforms doing this because that's really why I'm only on YouTube and Rumble. And Rumble is more of like the archive in case a video gets taken down. You can go over there and watch it. My biggest problem with Kick is how willing they are to let illegal activities just go on their platform, like nuisance streaming, which is a off branch of IRL streaming, which you're just being a piece of shit in public. And these are like the saddest group of losers you've ever seen. They only care what people think of them and how they are willing to just do anything to aggravate, hurt people. And these little bitches always run around like the 6 foot tall bodyguards, but none of them can fight. Because there's stories like Jack Doherty getting jumped where he just ran away, and Neon, who is like scrawnier than me, and I think like 5 foot tall, getting thrown around, beating the shit out by Foozy Tube. And it is just, and that's like the least worst parts of it, because the next two guys I'm going to get into, or group of people I'm going to get into, are like almost a lot, no, if not, yeah, just a lot worse. So, as most people know, a Kick streamer called JP had died on a live stream in a 10-day streamathon, and by the 10th day he was yellow, and there's just so much footage of him being straight up abused on those streams, and Kick did nothing about it. Now I understand it's live streaming, what happens can just happen, but this wasn't it. It was straight up abuse of a guy who just wanted some friends. Uh, he was a French veteran. It's it was just a really fucked up thing that Twitch just let go on for days without doing anything about it. And I believe the person who can show Kick's completely absolute disregard for any moral issue is Derek Groz. I don't believe in the platforming many people, but there are exceptions, and pedophiles are one of them. Derek Gross is the type of man people warn their daughters about before they leave the house. He has openly hit on children, asked them to show their private parts, and had what he called secret streams where he would bring over women who did not know he was streaming and stream them having intimate relations. And now, in the co-founder's Ceramics TV's defense, he might not have known, but he has given that man $5,000. And he continued with this for a long stretch of time. And there is no way Kick could not have known that he was doing this. So either there are people in Kick who don't care about pedophilia, are active pedophiles themselves, or are fine with making money off children being exploited. So that's basically the main reason I stay off of Kick is just the type of people who stream there and how little that the moderators of that site care. Because when there's active crimes, you are just letting people do. Now, I don't I'm not saying if you use Kick or you like Kick, you're a pedophile and a criminal sympathizer. No. There are people on Kick who follow the law and follow, I'm pretty sure, Kick's guidelines who say you shouldn't be doing any of this. But I just can't look at that and say, yeah, it's a platform I want to be on. Now, I feel like Twitch has the opposite problem, but for a small, well, not really a small group of people, but a decent sized group of people, that does not apply to them. I believe there are people on Twitch who can just openly break the rules and Twitch won't do anything about it because they either A, they're very attractive women. Now, let me explain that one later. Or they have a certain political ideology that a lot of people at Twitch agree with and are not opposed to people making calls of violence to achieve. Okay, so for the first part, that might sound crazy, especially out of context, but there has been things like the hot tub streaming meta, which most people weren't allowed to do on different sites. Women advertising their OnlyFans and Fanslies on their Twitch streams, which is against the rules of Twitch, by the way. And then there's cases where women have actually had intercourse on their streams and got a very short ban, or they've had exposed themselves and got very short bans, which we couldn't really see, or when throwing around cats or giving cats alcohol, which when we see a dude do something not as bad, he gets a ban that's like twice as much. And now they're just giving birth on live with the case of Fandy. Now, this wasn't a pregnant woman streaming and out of nowhere she goes into labor and they have to do it right there. We wouldn't hold that against her because medical emergencies don't wait for the camera to turn off. But she planned this shit. And it wasn't for educational purposes. I don't believe that. Because you know what she has on the bottom left corner? A advertisement for her Fansly. That's right, she does porn. And that's against the rules on Twitch to advertise porn. But she does it anyway. And no punishment. And how is this okay? How do we see this and go, why the fuck would you do that? Because for some reason, out of a room of 100 people, you could show them something's obviously wrong, and a shocking amount of people that is over like one will somehow find a way to defend it. And I believe this is wrong because one, my personal reason, that should be between you, the baby, and your husband, or the father of the baby. That shouldn't be streamed to the world for clout. Two, you're saying it's educational, but you have porn in the bottom left hand corner, or advertisements for it, not actual porn, don't worry. And we don't see the baby giving birth because that's against TOS. They couldn't show it. And in no, like, now there are like films of people giving birth for educational reasons. These None of those have advertisements in the bottom right hand corner, especially for something like that. And then, like, you see people online somehow defending it, like people on Twitter saying, "If you're not a woman, you don't get to do." Like, shut up, bitch. No, I don't have to be this certain gender to say something is wrong. Don't do it. And I kind of feel bad for that baby because even at the moment it has been born, it has already been used for content. Like, it didn't even get its birth. Like, most Family Channel children get that. And we can see they're like child actors and like content, like children who abuse content, they have trouble most of their lives. Now imagine this kid. He didn't even get like the first few minutes of life without having to be off camera. So who knows what's in store for this kid? Hopefully nothing bad. I really don't want that. It's not the kid's fault. And I believe the man who can be used as Twitch's hypocrisy on how the rules are placed down is Hassan Piker, his orbiters, and his fan base. Because he has done so much shit against the rules and he gets to stay. And his fan base is just out of control. And he never says, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Because they've sent death threats. He's never said anything about it. They've done so much. I don't have evidence for this, but I do believe they had a Sonic Chu psychology docs. Don't have evidence for it, but I do believe it because that's the immediate video where Hassan Piker was called a lolcalin, and then he got doxxed. So yeah, and he's done so much shit. And I'm gonna show his recent drama where he just shocks his dog for little to no reason. So, hat tip to fucking idiot for posting this clip because the only person who put this clip up was Hassan himself to profit and mock those who are calling him out for this. And I want you to watch the full clip. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit.
I hate this fucking country so much. You can be on a fucking mountain in the middle of Norway and get better internet than Los Angeles, California. And this is just like a moment of anger. This is a moment of fucking anger for like something that is just so routine, so silly, such a first world problem. But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
Now, look at that. He shocked that dog just for trying to stretch its legs. That's not a dog to him, that's a prop. And the irony that he is saying that poor internet is a sign of violence and saying it's a first world problem, and then immediately committing an act of violence against his own dog. Now, I'm not against shock collars. I believe they should only be used on like aggressive animals, and that's where it's supposed to hurt. Or small shocks to keep them on property or out of certain rooms. That wasn't the reason he did that. He did that because the dog stopped being his fucking prop. And the reason he gives is the stupidest one. Let me show you his reason.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby. It's just.
I know I was going to say I was going to shut up for a little bit, but this man literally looked at his fucking dog after he shocked it and called it a baby. Now imagine if he did that to a person. He hit a person and they cried out in pain and he said, stop being a fucking baby.
You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
The dog is spoiled because he just wanted to stretch his fucking legs and not be a prop for like a few minutes.
No, she doesn't want to come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone. And she needs to literally have the same structured, regimented.
If you don't want the dog to leave the room, close the fucking door. That's all you have to do to keep a dog inside a room, is close the door.
I think that clip went to Trump's big baby desk immediately. I hate everything. I hate everything.
Because he's a fucking whine-ass rich boy. Now, he says the dog clipped a part of its paw. I'm going to disprove that right the fuck now. I want you to watch the dog's legs.
It is just so routine, so silly.
No, I'm gonna play
Such
this
a
frame
first
by
world
fucking
problem.
frame.
But it is emblematic of all of
Alright,
America's
watch the dog's
much more
paws. Look at its positions.
as to why
In
America.
no way.
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
See, the dog couldn't have clicked its nail on anything because the positions wouldn't let it. Because its front paws are on the ground. Someone looks back at it, it tries to get back on the bed. If we had saw it been clipped, it would have yelped when it happened. But if you look at his right arm,
Such a first
just
world
watch
problem.
it. Just watch it.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential.
He sees the dog moving.
Okay, it's the same reason as to why America. Kaya,
realizes he's about to leave.
Just fucking go. Just
reaches for something, and then the dog yelps.
Oh.
He reached for a button and tased it because it wanted to stretch its fucking legs. It didn't want to sit there for 4 fucking hours. And this is just the most recent thing this dude has done. He has actively sympathized with terrorist organizations. Had a terrorist on and just sat there, acted like his friend. He didn't interview that terrorist. He just sat there, acted like his fucking friend. He has made calls to violence and doxed multiple people on one fucking stream. Now, I know YouTube has people on there like them and has caught predators, and a lot worse for people have died on stream. But I feel like if you did this shit on YouTube, it would be a lot more swift with a lot less mercy, and you would get in a lot more fucking trouble. So that's why I'm going to mostly stick to YouTube and Rumble, even though Rumble is a very small platform that doesn't really do gaming and non-political commentary stuff. But I just don't feel like Twitch and Kick care about that stuff. As in, you can just do it with no punishment or no worry about it. Especially if you are friends or the founders of the company support you. Now, I know this was a very impromptu, not very well made video, because I just wanted to rant and just say why I don't really use these platforms, and I don't intend on getting onto them. But thank you for watching, and I'm going to try to do better on posting on a more consistent basis. I'm just not very good at this yet. I might get better, hopefully, but I do plan on posting the next part of Dark Descent today, and maybe a few more shorts. So, thank you for watching. Generic outro, YouTuber saying here, video's over, go home.